Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Neon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And we told you so.
Yep.
We told you so. Elon Musk wants all of Twitter. All of it.
I'm trying not to make a boyfriend comment.
Anyway.
Your boyfriend wants all of Twitter. No.
He wants all of Twitter, and I find that incredibly sexy. Anyway, not as sexy as you.
Oh, okay,
Not
good.
as sexy as you.
Okay, good.
No, we knew this was going to happen. He was basically playing with his food. And, as soon as he got pushback from the leadership, I'm using air quotes here, at Twitter, he was like, yeah, okay, I'm just going to start polling users for features and asking them questions like I already own the place because I'm going to own the place pretty soon.
And he set himself up in a position that if they say no, it's going to tank their stocks. So, they really can't. If they say no, it's going to hurt the company big time.
Yeah, now here's the thing. How important to you is this activism that's on Twitter? Because, Elon Musk actually could turn Twitter around. The reason people have been leaving Twitter is because it has been unevenly doling out blue checks and unevenly enforcing its rules.
I think also the reason he wants to make it private, that he would own it. So basically what he wants to do is he wants to buy the whole thing and make it private company so that it's not publicly traded. The thing about, that is what's probably going to happen is if he does what he says he's going to do, I think it would drop the stock anyway, because you're talking about half the users are estimating are fake.
Yeah.
So you're going to keep some fake users, those who are willing to pay to have fakeness. Well,
I'm wondering if at that point Twitter becomes mostly a subscription service and you got to pay your $3 to $5 a month to use it, which fantastic, because that would purge, 3/4 of the assholes on
Which
Twitter.
are mostly cryballies. I mean, we were joking before we did this video about people are mad because that's their safe space. And I'm like, here's the thing, it's never been a safe space. What it's been is just, it leans their way and then they can sit and bully other people on this. It's safe for them, but not for other people. And they're fine with that. This is not when it works in reverse.
Yeah, so people, of course, are having meltdowns on Twitter. They're like, if Elon Musk buys it, that alt-right shitbag, we're going to leave. We're going to go to another free platform and take that one over.
Right, pretty much. And people are pointing out, they're like, you mean like everybody was going to move to Canada if Trump got elected?
Yeah, pretty much. So let's talk about this. This is rumored that if it goes through, it could even be like today.
Yeah, we talked to my dad and he was saying about that.
Yeah. So before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. Over 263,000 subs. Yes, we are on Twitter. I've debated about leaving Twitter on multiple occasions. Now,
I'm kind of glad you're not. You didn't?
Yeah, I might just stick around. So this is coming from The Hollywood Reporter, and this is after yesterday we did a video on how stressed the employees are.
Right, because again, I said, why are you stressed?
Why are you stressed? Because they know.
Well, yeah, if he takes it over the whole way, they might be gone.
Well, he was talking about turning their San Francisco headquarters into a homeless shelter.
Yeah, that's true. He did.
So, this guy is, again, he's playing with his food. He's like, what is going to, he's kind of like, well, you're a bunch of activists.
What's funny is this is why capitalism is bad. And it's like, it's okay when you're getting your way.
Yeah. So very, very interesting turn of events. Again, that pendulum swing. It's happening.
But again, that doesn't mean they're going to agree to it.
No.
I want to make that very clear.
Yeah, he had to file with the SEC. He put the papers out there. He broadcast today. They made an offer, and he put the SEC filing out there.
Yeah, does not mean that the people are going to accept it, but it does sound like they might accept it.
I think this is the only thing that could save Twitter at this point, because the damage has been done.
And the rich people are going to make a lot of money.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so they're going to cash out and not have to deal with these shitbags? Yeah.
Yeah, they don't give a shit. Disney was going to buy Twitter, 8 or 9 years ago, and Bob Iger's like, yeah, we didn't want the headache of dealing with Twitter. Elon Musk
So they just hired them all to work at Disney?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, we just hired them all to work here. Elon Musk offers to buy Twitter for $43.4 billion, coming from The Hollywood Reporter. Musk made the offer in a text message to Twitter board chair Brett Taylor. Twitter has extraordinary potential. I will unlock it. It does. Twitter actually does have extraordinary potential. It had extraordinary potential 10 years ago, and then it became a platform for activists in cancel culture.
Yeah, cancel culture's rampant.
Yeah,
bullying's rampant.
And journos have been giving an unusual amount of weight to Twitter and people's tweets and trying to use that to support their position.
Right, and then Hollywood people are like surprised when Twitter doesn't represent everyone, and it's actually it's a very loud minority.
Yeah.
And they're like, wait, this isn't show everyone that they're not all on Twitter? No, they're not.
people have lost their jobs and their livelihoods because of Twitter. They've had their lives destroyed because of Twitter. And a lot of times it's because those rules are unevenly enforced.
Well, I'm going to say it. We've seen people like the politicians be, stuff leveraged on Twitter. I was thinking Tulsi Gabbard and stuff like that. Her account's gone, but then Harris is still there. And then guess who gets to be vice president? There's some weirdness there. I'm sorry, but there is.
Oh, if it goes private.
I would have voted for Gabbard, just saying.
I would have absolutely voted for her. If it goes private, I can guarantee you there's one account that he would bring back.
Yeah, that's what they're afraid of.
Just out of spite. And here's the thing: if you don't like that person,
block him.
Don't interact. I mean,
But they can't do that because they can't see what he's saying, so they don't have something to yell about every 5 seconds.
I know it's too hard. Too hard to open up a private tab.
I think they're just addicted to the rush of I'm gonna show you. You know what I mean? It's like a dopamine hit.
I hope Twitter becomes a capitalist playground. It would be so...
I don't know if I want that. I want it to go back to center is what I want it to do.
Yeah, I know. But
I just want it to go to center.
It started out okay. It did.
Yeah, I want it to go back to what it was. That's what I want.
Anyway, Musk made an offer to buy Twitter in a deal that values the social media giant at $43.4 billion. It's his best and final offer. Musk sent via text message to Twitter board chair Brett Taylor. He wrote that since making my investment, I now realize the company will neither thrive nor serve the societal imperative in its current form. Twitter needs to be transformed as a private company. Basically, we need to tear it down and start over.
Well, he wants to own it all.
Yeah.
He doesn't want a board to answer to.
Yeah, because that's the problem.
Well, not that board anyway.
No, not that board. He would appoint his own people.
Own board, yeah.
Would he bring back Jack Dorsey? Because they were I think they were friends.
I don't know. I just said to you, I said, isn't this weird? Jack Dorsey I think got ousted. And then he's friends with Musk, apparently you said.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, here this comes.
Yeah, I kind of wonder if Dorsey isn't behind some of this because it did seem like he got pushed out the door and they brought an even woker CEO in. And he's probably like, well, then let me call up Elon and see.
Yeah, the one thing I did see Elon say in an interview, this is unrelated, but it related, was I wish people just be kind to each other. And he said, people, and we're all guilty of this. I'd say us included. Immediately, go out to you don't know their true intention. And it's really hard to gauge intention on the internet, especially. And then you immediately gear back up and try to fight people because that's what we've been conditioned to do at this point, especially by places like Twitter. And he just said, I wish people would just be, nicer to each other unless you find out someone that actually is an a-hole, basically. Then there's reason. And I don't disagree with that.
Well, when you've got people sending you DMs telling you to literally go die in a fire.
Yeah, wishing your kid's death.
You
know that person's an asshole. But I'm just saying, I like what he's saying because that's kind of where we come from and we talk about this all the time. Like if you're just walking down the street, you don't know who voted for who unless they're wearing a hat or a shirt or something. And just because they voted for someone doesn't mean that they're a terrible person. And I'm so tired of this black and white. You have to be one of these categories. And, you're obviously good or evil depending on my position. And it's not real. And it's not fair. And it's not how it was.
And Twitter is at the center of a lot of it.
Exactly.
The media has given way too much weight to Twitter.
Media themselves are using it to try to get what they want.
Yeah, it's so weird. We're seeing within the span of a year, multiple media outlets that relied on Twitter and Twitter outrage dying, getting sold off. BuzzFeed News is probably going to be shut down. And now we've got Elon Musk buying Twitter, which is probably going to drive off some more of the crazies or make them crazier. I don't know what's
well, it's
going
probably,
happen.
Yes. So tell them what he's offering.
All right, so the offer was disclosed in a securities filing Thursday, which also included a voice script, either from a voicemail Musk left for Taylor or from Musk's side of a phone call with Taylor. If the deal doesn't work, given that I don't have confidence in management.
Yeah, nor do I.
Yep, nor do I believe I can drive the necessary change in the public market, I would need to reconsider my position as a shareholder. So basically, you either sell it to me or I'm out because I can't do anything.
It's going to tank the stock. It's going to tank the company.
Yeah, and a lot of people might leave if he's out anyway. Be like, that was the last hope for Twitter was for Elon Musk or somebody, to come in and buy it.
If they don't take the deal when he leaves, that's going to embolden the people that are already bullying everyone on the platform and the people in management who are bullying everyone on the platform.
Mm-hmm. In a statement Thursday, the company responded saying that the Twitter board of directors will carefully review the proposal to determine the course of action that believes in the best interest of the company and all stockholders.
Which would be us.
Yep. Yeah, I actually bought more. I bought more when he pulled out. I bought more because I was like, oh, I know what's going to happen. I know this guy does not let go. People are like, oh, I loved it. They were on Twitter. They were all like, look, yeah, Elon Musk got owned. He got owned. They just like told him no and like a crybaby. He's like, well, okay, I'm not going to be on the board of directors. Meh, 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 meh. Elon's going to go away. It's like, no, Elon never goes away. You don't understand. Like he will come back and he will.
The reason Neon likes him so much is because that's how he would behave.
It is.
I know it is. I've been married to you for years.
I'm like a very poor version of Elon Musk. Yes. Musk first disclosed that he acquired a 9.1% stake in Twitter 10 days ago, using the platform to solicit and suggest a wide range of changes. Yes, that's his way of saying, if I were king, this is what I would do. And I'm acting
Who's going to follow me?
Yep, the company responded quickly, offering the Tesla and SpaceX founder a seat on the board in exchange for a standstill agreement, limiting his stake to under 15%. That's not going to work.
No. Does everybody else have that limit or just him?
I don't think anybody else. He's the single largest shareholder, so I'm not sure what the.
But that's kind of shitty. You can come on the board and we'll listen to you, but you can't talk to anybody else on Twitter, and you can't have more money in here because we have to make sure it's fair.
Nobody puts Elon in the corner, right? However, just a few days later, before he was set to join the board, Musk told Twitter CEO Parag Agrawal that he was declining the offer.
Because Agrawal's probably like, I got him now.
Yeah. Ow. Toxic. He warned Twitter employees after the move that there will be distractions ahead. In his text messages, Musk suggested that he mentioned taking Twitter private over the past weekend, perhaps linked to Agrawal's warning. There are going to be distractions, guys. Don't be super stressed.
Okay, well, you know what? Before I was like, why are you stressed if you weren't doing anything wrong? But now I kind of understand. If he wants to take it private, yeah, I can understand why they're stressed.
Yep. The takeover attempt is a culmination of Musk's effort and represents a value of $54.20 per share. I think it's at like 40 something now. I'd have to check. Above where the stock was trading before his stake was disclosed, and a premium over where it was when trading closed Wednesday at over $45 a share. Musk hired Morgan Stanley to advise him on the takeover offer. Twitter shares were up more than 10% in the pre-market trading Thursday. Glad I bought some Wednesday.
Well, the average value right here, is that what the current value is?
Yeah, $49.45. So he's offering more than what the stock is.
When he offered that, it was lower. It went up since then.
Yeah. He's offering to buy 100% of Twitter for $54.20 per share in cash, a 54% premium over the day before I began investing in Twitter, and a 38% premium over the day before my investment was publicly announced. My offer is my best and final offer, and if not accepted, I would need to reconsider my position.
Yeah, basically, if I pull, your stock's gonna tank. So either you give it to me and make it a private company, I buy all the stock at a higher rate, which is going to be attractive to the investors and the big investors.
Yes, like you're all going to cash out,
right? And make a lot of money. Mm-hmm. Or I'm just going to walk away and drop my shares, and when I do that, it's going to plummet the stocks. And so it's kind of, they're painted in a corner now at this point. Yeah,
it's basically, Twitter, and we've been chronicling the decline of the platform, and it's been in rapid decline, and it, obviously was hastened. The decline was hastened during the 2020 election. People were getting banned, and then over COVID, people were getting banned over that, and it's just become a ban-happy safe space for certain people.
Yeah, certain people, and those people are emboldened to bully others. So the bullying continues. It's okay when they're the ones doing the bullying. And I think if you're going to have rules, you need to enforce them evenly. That's where I come from.
Yeah, so of course, people reacting to it like, I'm going to leave Twitter. I'm going to leave. And this meme is going around. Twitter is a private company. It can do what it wants. Yes.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
Oh my God.
That's hilarious, actually.
Yeah, it will be when it's all Elon's.
Somebody was on there like, when you have to buy speech, it's not freedom of speech. And I'm like, bullshit bag, because here's the thing. It's like, there's not freedom of speech on Twitter anyway. There's freedom of speech for certain people. That's not what, I'm tired of this. That's not what freedom of speech means. Yeah, no, that's exactly what freedom of speech means. You have the right to say what you want to say as long as it's within the guidelines of the platform, but only certain people have that right, and that is a problem.
Again, you guys can go out to Pillow Fort. It literally markets itself as a safe space, hence the Pillow Fort, the fluffy pillows. But he was talking about the San Francisco headquarters. I think he has plans to move it to Texas with Tesla. Just turn it into a homeless shelter. I'll buy the building. Or I'll own the building. I don't know if I'm assuming they own the building. I'll turn it into a homeless shelter, and I'll just move the whole damn thing to Texas. Oh, you guys are super stressed. I can't imagine why.
Yeah, no, that makes more sense now.
You know, leaving Twitter is a nice thought, but the effects of broad manipulation of reality won't leave you. Consumerist responses to societal problems are no substitute for a real nexus of power, democratic governance. Yeah, laws and democracy are greater than corporations and billionaires.
But the laws and democracy, there's no democracy. Here's the thing, they keep making these comments. But the basic assumption of the comments you're making is that it's fair for everyone, but it's not. That's the point. That's the problem. It's only fair for you and your friends and for how you want to use it. These people, abuse the system all the time, flag people all the time, cause all kinds of trouble all the time for other people who don't have the same opinion as them. That is not freedom of speech. That's freedom of speech for one side. And I don't agree with that. I would say the same thing if it was in the opposite way too. I'd be like, that's shit either way. I think it needs to be across the middle and evenly enforced.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, just be like, look, if you're doing shitty things on the platform, and that's the thing. We've seen you could have two users, violate the same terms of service.
We've seen it.
And we've seen it. Violate the terms of service, but one user leans one way, one leans the other way, and guess which one gets punished and which one doesn't. And that's how Twitter
and they both should be punished if they both violated terms of service. And that's where I'm at. I want the rules clear and evenly enforced.
This guy's a Marvel writer. Like all social media, Twitter's value is entirely in its users. The core users, those that use it for more than just casually reading news, are much more likely to wander off under a threat of a Musk-tainted free speech.
But they keep saying free speech, but I don't think they're using it in the way that it actually has the definition of it. They mean by free speech, they mean what they want to say. Free speech is free speech as long as they get to say what they want to say. And other people, they're in their echo chamber and no one else can, say anything else. And those haters are silenced. But they're pissed when it might go in the opposite direction. And I don't want it to go completely in the opposite direction.
No, I just want a neutral,
right,
unbiased social media platform that weeds out fake accounts and, lets people sort of hash their issues out, and they only intervene when it becomes egregious.
Okay. This is what you're talking about. Twitter friends. I'm leaving Twitter because fuck Twitter. Yesterday, someone said to write your life story in one sentence. My life story in a sentence is, she should be dead. I was forced to delete the reply after 3 separate appeals, so I'm deleting my account. Fuck Twitter.
Yeah, it's like there really isn't anybody steering the ship. It's a bunch of activists out of San Francisco, probably kids fresh out of college, that are making these decisions. And we know shadow banning is real. They've already,
They kept saying it wasn't, but they proved it.
It's real, It's interesting because Gab, I saw one of these replies. Gab was basically like, well, how about you give us $2 billion? Here we go. Yeah, Gab, counteroffer, sell your 9% Twitter stock, invest $2 billion in Gab, join Gab's board, and let's take them down. You have to consider that bringing free speech to Twitter isn't as simple as buying it. That is true. Apple and Google do not allow free speech, so if you stop the censorship, they will kick Twitter from both app stores. We already solved that problem and overcame it. That actually is true. They could be like, I don't even know if if he would buy it, if it's going to be like, a free-for-all. I don't think it's going to be a free-for-all.
I don't think it should be. I think it needs to go back to center.
Yeah, I think it needs to go back to what it was about 10 years ago. If we went back to where Twitter was 10 years ago and normal people felt safe coming back to Twitter because they knew they weren't going to get dogpiled by 50,000 alt accounts, for having a wrong opinion.
Right, and that's the problem. The alt accounts are a big issue, and Twitter has done nothing to address it. And the reason they're not doing anything, the reason they're not doing anything to address it is because we've done a video on this. When it was their board meeting time, they were like, look at the increase in Twitter users. Wow, look at that. Yeah, but they've also done research and said about half of the accounts on Twitter are fake bot accounts. Twitter knows it, but if they took those accounts away, then they'd lose half their subscribers, and that would look really bad for their stocks and for the board and everything else. If it's privately owned, he could do that, and he doesn't care. It's not going to impact the stock price. But that's why Twitter does nothing about it, because it would actually hurt them to do something about it, and people would leave the platform, and they know it. So instead, they turn a blind eye and let the 20 bot accounts flag somebody, and then, all these people are offended, so we're going to shut them up, even though it's just one person. Yeah. And they just allow it to happen. They know it's a problem, but they do nothing to fix it.
For the better of the world, I hope they accept it. The impact on all other social media platforms will be huge. All the algorithms will have to adjust to real free speech.
Yeah, real free speech, not free speech according to Twitter.
Yeah, until the next election, next presidential election. Then we'll game everything again. But that's the problem. Twitter broke because of it being gamed to filter out information that could tip the
a lot of people said they had known about different things. They would have voted a different way on either side. And well, mostly on the one side, I'm gonna be honest. And that's because when stuff was put up there and evidence was shown, it was deleted.
Yep. So this is gonna be really interesting. Do I think the people threatening to leave Twitter will actually leave Twitter? No, it might actually get worse for a while. I think if he would buy it, I think we're gonna have a lot of crazies try to think that they can retweet enough to drive him away from Twitter.
Here's the thing: we won't know until they accept this offer. If they decline the offer, it's going to tank Twitter.
Yeah.
If they accept the offer, it's going to get interesting. But first thing he needs to do if he gets it is to lock it down with the bot accounts.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That'll bring it back to center more than anything else. If you can delete the bot accounts, so there's this artificial amount of voices in one, and we all saying the same thing, that could impact it in a positive way right off the bat. Pay
to play. If you're a subscriber, you get some sort of verification. If you're not paying, if you're using a free version of Twitter, then people can filter out the freebies, the freeloaders, and be like, oh, or if somebody tweets something, be like, oh, well, why are you listening to this person? They don't even pay for Twitter.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know if I agree with that. Because
that's what I think is going to happen. That's the only way you can filter out the bot accounts.
Well, that's true. It could be a bot account. They don't pay for it. Yeah, that's true. I was going to say, but then you're setting a classist thing about who can afford it and who can't, which, being in a position that I have been in before where I couldn't have afforded that, I don't think that's fair either.
We're not saying you can't use Twitter. We're saying that if you're a user of Twitter and you're tired of random accounts, retweeting you or whatever, that if they're not actually verified, meaning they're not actually paying for Twitter or whatever the thing is, then you can filter them out. You can drown them.
Well, I will give them one thing. Corporations for sure are going to use that because they can buy hundreds of fake accounts.
Yep.
And then just use it to promote their stuff. So it's not going to solve the problem completely just doing that. So, and in that regard, it is going to be more corporations that benefit. That's true.
I guess my thing is, the same thing they tell everybody else. If you don't like it, go build your own. But I'm like, a lot of these activists, they can't build shit.
No, they just take warm seats and then, bully people out of their jobs, take the seat and then sit and scream with a bigger megaphone.
So we'll see what happens. Very interesting. Very interesting. Anyway.
Yep. Tell your boyfriend bye.
Bye, Elon. Call me. I don't think Give me a blue check.
I don't think he's going to call you.
No, he's not going to call me. Anyway, talk to you later.
Bye.